So let's talk about the costs, and considering that I really used, well, I did everything to minimize the costs to their minimum. So I'm gonna switch to the Google Console, and I will go to billing. And I can see how it works is you see it for all of your projects, and I will go to reports. And because you will not see everything because of my face is there, I'm gonna toggle this because otherwise the screen will be very small. So, well, this is the best I can do. And yeah, so th these are the costs that I have for this month. So it's around 10 euros, and today is 19th. So by the end of the month, it's going to be around 15 euros. So as part of this, what is incurring the costs? Cloud Run is actually pretty cheap if you don't have DDoS, and then it's incurring a cost to be like 5 euros a day. This is what it can cost. Well, now I'm selecting just the project, but since this project was just created today, it's not gonna amount to a lot. So I will select the project that's been using it for a few months now, and I will only select the services that are relevant to the project, which are basically Cloud Run, uh, Cloud SQL, and storage. So we can see per each one of them how much they cost. And yeah, it's 10 euros. And by the end of the month, it will probably be 15. And you see, Cloud Run really doesn't cost. It literally costs few cents. Now it costs few cents after all of the measures I did with the rate limiting and Cloudflare CDN. Otherwise, it's going to cost you a lot more. Cloud SQL literally is zero point 0.3 all the time. Even so, the lowest instance that I got, this is how much it's going to cost you. So it's actually, yeah, SQL that costs you more than anything else. Storage itself is also cheap, and that's how much it costs. Another useful thing that you can do is you can use labels, for example. So if you have more Cloud Run services. So for example, I gave it Run SVC, like Run and SVC as a service, Run service. And for example, this is now for both of the Cloud Run services that I have for ATOB and WordPress. And now I can only filter it for WordPress, for example. So yeah, that's that you can really see how much it only costs for that one particular service. And the other thing that I want to talk about is how does it compare to running on private Kubernetes cluster? So this is a very small use case. Like at companies, this is a lot bigger. These are a lot bigger numbers. But on premise, things it costs upfront. Everything that you will be using on premise, this like all of the costs you need to do, you need to pay upfront. So, for example, Synology devices. One Synology device, both of them have four disk arrays. So this is two devices, 8 disks. I have three Raspberry Pis, which create a cluster. So this in itself is already way over 1,000, maybe even 2,000 euros. So this is something that I already paid up front. And this is how it is with on-premise all the time. So what I can measure in the end is electricity. So I use Tapo, a device that basically allows me to monitor how much electricity. So this is when it was connected to UPS, which was supplying power to the Synology and the three Raspberry Pi nodes. For example, I also then connected to the routers. They're also consuming electricity. Either way, the devices consumed around 1 kilowatt of energy a day. And I pay very small price for electricity. It's like 1.3 euros for a kilowatt. So that amounted to, with that number amounted to around 5.4 euros a month. So yeah, I would say in this regards, well, if you just compare it with electricity, Cloud Run will cost you 3 times more. But I think still 15 euros a month is really negligible compared that you don't have to maintain. You don't have to care about it at all, and that's when it comes to the costs. Another thing I want to talk about is budget and alerting, as this is something that helped me really realize that something is off when I had that DDoS attack. So basically, it allows you to set up a budget. For example, I want to spend 50 euros a month on GCP, or that to be a limit. So as part of a budget, I set up numerous thresholds. So for example, alert me when 10% is reached, or 30, 50, and I get an email every time this threshold is reached, and I know what's happening. And I can also see how much I spend for each month for GCP services. And this is really useful to have, and it can help you prevent you from becoming homeless if you end up running some really expensive service that you forgot about or something like that. So I would definitely encourage you to do this, and it's a perfect segue to the next topic I want to talk about, which is how did I even realize that I was under DDoS attack. So let's talk about it.